A man sat in his chair, completely paralyzed, could not move, cannot operate any of his limbs. But luckily, there's something in his brain that's going to allow him to not only see a computer, but be able to control a computer. And that product is called Neuralink. And what it's really doing today is it's giving people that have certain disabilities, whether it's ALS or serious paralysis of the body, to be able to control and do things that they never were able to do beforehand. Neuralink is this new technology that you probably heard of, but that is actually changing lives. The first patient's name is Nolan. Go ahead and look it up. For the longest time, he had a lot of freedoms and abilities removed from him where he wasn't able to do the simple task of playing digital chess on the computer. Things that we take for granted, Neuralink was able to help him out with that. Now, the technology is getting so advanced that what Elon and Neuralink want to do is they want to make it to where it's a product not only helping people with certain disabilities, but maybe helping us be a little bit smarter, think a little faster, be a little sharper on our day-to-day activities. Imagine your brain being able to merge with AI in a way that not only can our thoughts be tracked and maybe even downloaded, but learning and skill sets and abilities can be delivered and downloaded into our own brain. That's the future of Neuralink and other companies trying to do this. So the bigger dream is not to just put a chip that kind of helps people that are maybe paralyzed or have a disability react a little faster, or to use a computer and be able to communicate with their friends and family better.
I'm talking to you with my mind.
Everyone gets his own color.
Will it be blue?
You're gonna do that?
Yes, please. I'm done with my turn.
What they want to do is merge this into everyday life for people like you and me. Imagine I create a video where I actually speak eloquently, where I actually have something important of worth and value to say to you guys out there. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be fascinating that I would no longer ramble, that my thoughts would just become instantly clear and I'll be able to eloquently say what I want to you face to face? Kind of like the conversation we're having right here, right now, in your living room, in your car, on your boat, wherever you may be. This chip is going to enhance our lives to make us better, smarter, and faster. You see, the Neuralink chip is a small device, maybe the size of a coin. And what it does is it sits right on top of the brain, but it actually has these little tiny threads, supposedly 20 times thinner than the human hair. Those threads are then put on the surface of your brain, and they're able to scan all the neurons and Neuralink stuff that I don't know what it's called, but where the brain sends all the signals to our thought process. The signals that tell our hand to move, that tell me when to speak, close my eyes, to blink, to breathe, to stand up. All of those receptors, it's going to be connecting with that. And that is how it connects wirelessly back to the computer, and it tells the computer to move a chess piece up, forward, back, or pick it up, or click the next window on the screen. That is how Neuralink works. And if you're thinking this is some far-fetched sci-fi situation where, okay, this sounds a little crazy, Neuralink is not the only company out there. There's actually a lot more companies that are trying to win the race as well. We have one called Synchrony and then another one called Paradomics. Those two other companies are in the race as well to bring human interaction of the brain merged with AI, merged with technology that makes humans function better. Maybe if you have a disability, a speech impediment, something that is going on that is limiting you as a human being to operate properly. This is the dream that these companies are selling.
The biggest test will be whether BCIs can actually be a viable business and whether it can live up to all its hype, all its promises when it's rolled out in a commercial, real-world setting.
There is a big open question of how these are going to be paid for. What sort of insurance coverage will look like, whether that will be sufficient to cover the costs.
BCIs are unsurprisingly expensive. In July 2025, Bloomberg reported that Neuralink estimates each surgery will bring in $50,000. NeuroXS hasn't announced an estimate, but they've already broken ground on a manufacturing facility the company says will make 10,000 devices a year.
I think then, companies and investors are going to have to see how, large they really need this market to be. will it be sufficient to only use this as a medical device, or will investors want more of a return and want this technology to be available or marketed more broadly?
This has already been funded and is going to be encapsulated for people like you and I to use. What this is going to do is help us to be more focused, help us to be more efficient, not to be easily distracted. Not only that, but even allow us to potentially download programs and skill sets into our brain. Now, there's a movie out there, I believe it was called The Matrix. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but there was a time where Neo, the main character, he had to go fight Morpheus, and he didn't know how to do karate or kung fu. So what he did is he just downloaded the skill set. Kind of like when we add skills to Claude or ChatGPT. Do that on the reverse, and products like Neuralink or Synchrony or Paradomics, we're going to be able to do that to us on the other end. We're going to get skill sets and things that we want to learn. Maybe it's a piano, maybe it's kung fu, karate, and it's going to put it in our brain. I can only imagine how crazy things are going to get in the workforce, or how crazy things will be interacting and how efficient humans will be. It may be a little bit scary to the point where we could even control some of our emotions better, or we could be the best charismatic person, say the best jokes, be able to react in tricky situations, be able to handle an argument, be the best debaters. And it could get a little scary because it sounds like those individuals will have the upper hand in normal society. Now, this is where it gets a little creepy though. As cool as it sounds that we're able to maybe download skill sets into our brain and learn how to do karate in under an hour. As cool as that sounds, the weird part is if we're able to download thoughts and skill sets and we're able to transmit them to the computer, then that means the computer is going to essentially know every one of our thoughts. If I could tell a computer to move a chess piece forward, up, down, or backwards, that means it's recording all of my personal private thoughts. And I feel like that's where it gets really scary. Since we have the age of Face ID and paying with our phones and our eyes and scanning our face and all our information's out there in the world to have, I feel like this takes it a step further, because who's to say where all that information goes? Who's to say if there's some type of criminal activity going on, insider trading, or you want to murder someone, or you want to take advantage of a person or a community or a company, who's to say this premeditated thoughts are now going to be a crime? Well, I just thought it, I didn't do it. It's kind of like that movie with Tom Cruise, I believe. They could see the crime of the future of the crime happening before it did, and you would still be charged for it. I feel like with this Neuralink being able to download these thoughts in our brain, we're going to be heading in that direction. But I think the cool part about it is if I'm able to just think my thoughts and put it into a computer or device and I'm at work, I feel like that's just going to make us extremely more efficient, because a lot of times it's manually doing the work on a computer or on a device, manually creating a proposal. But now if we're able to think about it, then it's going to make the creation less of a friction, less of an obstacle for us to create, for us to implement, us to execute certain projects. A lot of times when I'm coming up with content, I imagine a lot of it in my head. So the future of these devices going into your brain is not only going to help people with disabilities improve their life, communicate, make things a little bit easier that we personally take for granted, but I believe it's going to be the future of human advancing. AI has helped our life, but now AI is going to merge with the human part of us, our brain, and it's going to help us think clearly, get projects done more effectively, maybe hold our emotions and our anger a little better. I could see the benefit, but I could also see the scary side of this. Knowing that a computer could essentially read and record our private thoughts day in and day out, it's almost scary, because it's like, where does a trust come in? Where do we allow so much for someone to have? Is it going to be where they could record our thoughts, but it's on a private database, a private cloud server, or just on our personal computer, Mac, or desktop? So let me know what you think. Does this sound like a device that you can jump on board on? Does this sound like a device that is just a gimmick, or it's a little far-fetched, way in the future where you're thinking, I don't see this happening. I don't think most people are going to lay down and allow a robot to do surgery on their brain and put a chip in. Even if it makes your life a little better, you're more charismatic, or you're better at your job, you could focus a lot better. Is it worth the risk of having a robot do surgery on your brain? Again, the process can take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes now. So when you look at the upside, it's actually pretty fascinating. The only scary part I would say is we don't have any long-term results about this. We don't have someone that's had a chip in their brain for 10 years. We don't know if the metal can cause something. It could cause brain damage. We don't know if it could cause cancer. There is no true long-term studies of this device. On paper, it sounds great. On the front end, it sounds like this is wonderful. It could cure a lot of diseases. It can make people more functional. It can make us a lot sharper and less distracted without the use of drugs and pharmaceuticals. But is this something that could work long term? A lot of times products and devices may seem really good in the beginning, but once we see the long-term studies on them, there's a huge effect. There could be a huge decay and a huge repercussions that could be either life-threatening or deadly to us in everyday life. So let me know what you think. Is Neuralink and all these other companies that are making these brain chips to improve our lives really something of the future? Is it a gimmick or is it too early to tell? Let me know what you think. Share this with someone that is interested in the future of AI merging with humans, and I'll see you in the next one.